That's as high as I can go.
Do I need to switch you around, Noah?
Yeah, just put me in the top with Jack.
I don't know. It kind of looks like he was wearing the Indiana State jersey.
Or Jack, put Jack on the bottom. Put Jack on the bottom. That way, yeah, there we go. Jack's sitting higher than all of us. All right, that's a hell of a way to start the live show. Let's go.
That's it. No, that's definitely it. It's the fact I'm sitting higher.
Yeah.
All right, Jack, hurry, move your shit.
All right, we're live, guys. We finally figured it out without Dimitri.
We are live.
I know Avery's somewhere in the chat. Where's Avery at?
He is.
Love that.
We might already be live, and it's not an SEC network crew, but I got brothers and dads running around here like crazy, getting stoked for a live stream.
Let's go. It's Christmas morning. We're about to see an NCAA tournament bracket.
Guys, every year, there's always like one team that shockingly gets in. Who's it going to be this year? Is it going to be basically the bubble is 8 teams total, 4 get in, 4 get left out?
Yeah.
Like, do we award Kentucky the 13th best SEC team to get in with 13 wins? Do we allow? I mean, USC, Arizona State, Xavier, UConn. Those are all coin flips. Troy, I think, deserves to get in. Are they going to let them in? I don't know.
You say that Kentucky is like on the bubble or whatnot, but last year the 13-win SEC teams were nowhere near that last 4 in. So
it's different now. In my opinion, it's different. I want to see what the selection committee does, but 12 SEC teams got in last year out of 14 teams. Do they keep the number at 12 or do they allow a 13th team, even though we added Texas and Oklahoma? I don't know.
Well, you got to think about this too. I'm on the completely different end of the spectrum. You're right. It is different. The SEC added Oklahoma and Texas. I think that number could even be closer to 12 SEC wins. I think they're a shoe in, and I don't even think it's a conversation that they had in the committee. Like, they're in. I get your point, trying to like make a principle, but like that's a team to me that was. I know that when y'all did the field of 64 in bracketology, they were a contentious topic to say the least.
But, yeah,
to say the least. But I think they're in, and it shouldn't even be a question.
Every year. I don't like the human element of selecting teams, especially 10 athletic directors who probably don't watch a ton of baseball. But it's what makes the sport great is you always got to stay on your toes.
Yeah, I think the interesting conversation here is the ACC, Big 12, Big East bubble teams. The ACC, you got Miami and Virginia. Virginia's got a series win over Miami. Virginia's got 16 ACC wins and had a series canceled against Florida State. 3 losses against Florida State would give them a better RPI than where they currently sit today. That's just the cold, hard facts. Yeah, Miami 15-14 in the league, 15-15 if you want to count the tournament loss, and Virginia 16-12. Your 2 Big 12 teams kind of on that bubble are Arizona State, Oklahoma State. I think Oklahoma State we all had kind of safely in. Arizona State was a team that we were kind of disagreeing on. There was the 2 Big East teams that are going to be huge, I think, pillars of this thing because the Big East does not have representation on the NCAA selection committee this year. Are they both going to get left out? If it's Xavier versus UConn, who gets in over those between those 2? Xavier won the season series 3-2. UConn won the final game in the losers bracket of the Big East tournament between the 2. Both of them scheduled extremely tough in the non-conference. I would love to see that rewarded, but at the same time, the committee could very well say, hey, you didn't win many of those games, though, that you scheduled tough and hit the road for. UConn has the series win against Miami. Does that weigh anything on the bubble between those 2 teams head-to-head? And then also, there's a huge elephant in the room, and he might just be sitting in the chair. The chairman of the committee is the Southeastern athletic director. Does Southeastern Louisiana sneak their way in? And UT Rio Grande is also on the bubble.
I can pretty much confirm. I talked to a coach, and Southeastern Louisiana is not getting in. It's not going to be a 2-bid Southland Conference. The decision's already been made It's just not public yet. I would be highly shocked if Southeastern Louisiana got in. So I don't think we have to worry about that, which is
Good.
something they pulled last year with the committee just selecting their team. So maybe they're going to do it right. But the NCAA did just announce the top 4 overall seeds in alphabetical order, and to me, they just ripped it straight. Like the top 4 teams are the top 4 teams in the RPI. So this might just be an RPI season, which we've seen in the past. They don't put a lot of thought and effort into it. They're just going straight down the RPI, which helps teams like Xavier and UConn, opposed to Virginia, Arizona State, and those teams a little bit lower in the RPI.
It also
But yeah,
makes
for me, like, why don't you reward a team like North Carolina, a top 4 overall seed, after winning the ACC tournament, and they clearly look like a top 4 overall team. But we do have 4 SEC teams as the top 4 overall seeds. It's Auburn, Texas, Vanderbilt, and who was it? Georgia? I forget. They just announced it on
Georgia.
Twitter.
Georgia.
Yeah.
it
So-
also makes perfect sense if you're saying, hey, they stripped it right from the RPI. It makes perfect sense why Southern Miss, who's not in the top 16 of RPI, is getting host over ACC regular season champion Georgia Tech. Makes total sense there. No athletic director on the selection committee for Southern Miss, though, right? No. They also do have representation there. So it's like, man, we're kind of picking and choosing certain spots here that really make it confusing for the casual eye to understand here. Because we saw the 16 hosts yesterday.
Well, the 16 hosts are announced, but just like a brain blast idea. Like, if you're going to be the last 4 team in, I think you need to play the regional at somewhat a disadvantage. Why don't we do like playing games? Like one playing game on the Tuesday or the Wednesday before Friday regional. So you get 8 teams that are all on the bubble, right? And they play their way in. One game, you're going to have to throw probably your ace. So there is an advantage to not being on the bubble. So you're not throwing your ace on Friday. Like, for example, USC and Arizona State should be playing a play-in game tomorrow or Wednesday.
I'd
Xavier
watch.
and UConn play-in game tomorrow or Wednesday. And then they start at somewhat of a pitching disadvantage on Friday, which we would like to start seeing more. If you're last 4 team in, you shouldn't be on the same level as somebody who like clinched their spot already. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ben,
logistically,
real quick, unplug and plug in your mic. You're picking up a lot of the background sound in the room. Go ahead, Jack.
I was going to say I totally misspoke too. It was Texas, Vanderbilt, Arkansas, Auburn, not Georgia for the top 4 seeds. So I misspoke on the Georgia pick. Yeah, Auburn. Arkansas, Auburn, Texas, Vandy in alphabetical order. So Auburn's a fun little wrinkle. Plainsman gets a regional, which is super badass and awesome for them. I'd like to also add to y'all's, I guess, play-in game situation. I guess that would be a lot like if, I don't know, hypothetically, Florida Gulf Coast and Stetson played today for a spot in the field of 64, but instead they're not. They're just going to let it ride.
that was so dumb, man. I see why they did it, but God, that sucks.
Sorry, that
Yeah,
was just a little.
They had to
had
finish.
go there.
They had to finish that tournament on Sunday prior to midnight. You're not allowed to finish conference tournament games through that deadline or whatever. So, yeah, that was brutal. I would hate to be on that Florida Gulf Coast side. You know, that even the video that they posted, you know, Stetson, it looked like they gave them the conference tournament trophy. So in the locker room, Florida Gulf Coast posted a video of them celebrating, but I saw the Stetson team sliding belly first on the wet tarp. It looked like they were happy with their consolation prize.
Right.
Yeah.
That whole situation sucks. For anybody that doesn't know, they waited 7 hours in a rain delay. Florida Gulf Coast had to beat Stetson twice. They were winning 5-4 in the 7th or 8th, game 1. So they would have had to turn around and play again. But the lightning delays and the rain delays pushed the game all the way back to like 11 p.m. Eastern time. And they finally just called it and said Stetson's going to be awarded the automatic berth because they finished higher in the regular season than Florida Gulf Coast.
I was just pushing some buttons. I know we've got a ton of people in here hanging out with us, so I just know that in about 45 minutes, the whole world's going to be angry about something. So
They
I
will.
thought we could find something that we could at least all unite together and be, well, that's a little bit of a head scratcher. I'm not really sure why we did that, but
Yeah.
a weird call. But the fact that it's 2 years in a row for that conference, you're just kind of sitting there going, where there's smoke, there's fire. Not great. But boys, T-minus 8 minutes until we get to see Mike Rooney's beautiful face on TV. How are we feeling? Feed me. Noah, what do you think is going to be the biggest shocker?
The biggest shocker of the day to me, I think our biggest shocker I would be shocked if Troy's left out. I would be shocked if Troy gets left out in a Sun Belt conference that has 2 hosts. If you're in a conference that has 2 hosts, how are you only going to have 2 total bids? I would be shocked if Troy doesn't get into the field of 68.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. Operation Burn the World Down if the Trojans don't go. I'm going scorched earth on everybody.
Right. I mean, I think that, man, I think they'll get in. I'm more worried about this Virginia team because, yes, they have a head-to-head over Miami. Yes, they went 16-11 regular season in the ACC tournament, but they lost the first game to Boston College in the ACC tournament, and they also have like a non-conference strength of schedule of 242, which means only 50 teams were worse. Laying it out on paper, it just confuses the hell out of me.
Josh Deshesky watching live on Twitter right now saying 14 SEC in and Jack, I know you're a Texas A&M
No idea what you're talking about.
truther. Would you be surprised if the Aggies got into the field here?
Would I be surprised? Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I'd be shocked. I think it feels like they've got no chance. I think the probability is really low. But if the metrics and all the analytics aside, and the conversation, Ben's already mad. Ben, we can't do this yet. But if the conversation is, are they one of the best 64 teams in the country? Ben, I'm not saying I disagree or agree with it. I'm just saying if that's the call, toe-to-toe with Kate Anderson with your 4th starting pitcher, oops. Just saying. I don't know.
I said this to you guys last night when we were doing our bracket projection. I'll stand on this. Love A&M to death. If they get in to the tournament, I won't watch a single pitch of the postseason. I will stand by that. If they get into the tournament, I won't watch a single pitch of college baseball. I would give up on the sport because we have to make the regular season matter. 100% bottom line, have to make the regular season matter. And if we're just going to start picking teams that had bad regular seasons but have potential and have talented players, then what are we doing? I don't want to be a part of it. So I would actually be a little upset if A&M made the tournament. I don't even think we need to discuss it. They should not. They will not.
With all due respect to Justin saying bold prediction, Kansas State gets left out.
Nope,
the
not happening.
Wildcats have an athletic director on the selection committee. I think they are very well going to be hearing their name called today. It's not even really in a conversation, I don't think.
I wouldn't even put them on that 18 bubble.
No. Josh Deshesky also saying, wait, so if A&M gets in, then we don't get Club Bromaha during the regionals?
I might retire from college baseball. I really would. I would be so frustrated.
All right, Ben, let's have a conversation. I'm going to give you the cop out.
Convince me because, dude.
Ben, just close your eyes and think of Tim Elko hitting home runs on one leg. One leg. The Rebs did it on one leg in Captain Elko. Now open your eyes, and it's Jace Laviolette with one hand. It's a storyline. I can sell you on the story. They're must-watch television. It'd be good for the NCAA's pocket. No, I do not think it's going to happen. I do think it's crazy that there is much buzz, though, getting as close to the announcement that there is. Like, I thought this was a done deal not happening. I don't know if it's just us still talking, but Ben, I'm going to give you the opt-out. It's a clause in your contract. If they put him in, you're going to watch. You're not going to be able to help yourself. I know you.
Nope.
You're the needle. You have to watch. So I'm going to put in a clause that says you have to guarantee your way back into watching the regionals this weekend if A&M gets it.
Not happening. I won't watch. Will not watch.
So I will. I want to plug this too because we haven't read like the 16 hosts in no particular order. Here are your teams that are hosting regionals this year. This was announced last night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Southern Miss, UCLA, Oregon, Florida State, Ole Miss, Tennessee, Coastal Carolina, Clemson, Oregon State, LSU, Vanderbilt, Texas, North Carolina, Georgia, Arkansas, Auburn. Those are your 16 hosts. Ben, which site are you most excited to see postseason baseball at this year?
I always look at the obviously when the bracket gets released, I will dive through it and
there will obviously be most entertaining regional,
right?
But
most
just
entertaining regionals,
the physical site, the facility, where are you excited to see most for the home fans?
I'll tell you this: Oregon at PK Park, they always put on a show when they host regionals. The stands are packed, they're loud. They have an SEC type environment out there. I always like watching Oregon's regionals, especially this, Noah. The regionals that start at 7 and then 10 p.m. first pitch when they're almost standalone. The West Coast regionals Friday night just hit different, and Saturday.
My answer's in the same state. I like Oregon State. I mean,
Right.
this is a program that didn't play many home games. They played 30 plus games away from Goss Stadium this year, and now they're getting rewarded with home baseball in the postseason. There's nothing better. And if they legitimately get a top 8 seed, a national seed, and they're playing home baseball at Goss up until Omaha, I mean, everything that they went through, all that turmoil, all that adversity that they battled this year, all that travel, it's all worth it.
Yeah, I mean, good for Oregon State. They really they were in a bind before the season trying to schedule tough teams and keep that RPI up. Is not being in a conference kind of sucks in college baseball because you have to fit weekend series where other teams have bye weekends or whatever. So, yeah, good for them to win a bunch of games, make a whole 56-game schedule, and most of them at neutral sites or on the road.
Jack, specifically talking host site, where are you most excited to see postseason baseball this year?
Yeah, Jack, where are you going? I saw you posted something on Twitter that you were trying to rally up some fan bases to get you somewhere.
Don't pin Jack to a certain spot yet. Let him see the field, right?
I want to see the board. I do want to leave it up to the fans. Like, Southern Miss fans either love or hated me. I'd love to see Hattiesburg. I think that'd be awesome. I'd love to do somewhere new that I've never been. So right now, off the top of my head, Southern Miss, Ole Miss, or I could get on a plane. We could march the Oregon Trail.
Dude, 2 regionals within an hour of each other would be a great move.
It would be something. We just got to figure out what we can be able to pull off. But
we are live, boys. We are live.
Where are they shooting this thing? Okay, so someone did ask this earlier. I think it was Clive. We're throwing up his question on. This is going to be kind of the format of the show, friends. So are y'all going to show the teams where they're getting selected? No sound. He's in Greece, so he can't watch ESPN2. Clive, what you should do is you should jump on a train and go hang out with the Riz God. But for this show, since we obviously can't stream the Field of 64 being announced, we will kind of speak out loud. So, Clive, if we can find a way to turn the volume up, we don't want to get kicked off YouTube and Twitter quite yet.
Correct.
Maybe one day. Unless they show A&M first, then
we would be demonetized if we shared the stream.
Jack, check your phone. Jack and I just got a text message that just broke my heart.
Hell up.
Just broke my heart.
Who's it going to be? No way, dude.
Noah, there was a team that is confirmed the first team left out of the tournament. And
Really?
anybody who follows the show can probably guess who that one team is. Oh, that just breaks my heart. Yeah, so
I'm gonna lose it.
we're not going to say this team out loud, but put the dots together. Confirmation: one of the teams is the first team left out.
Wait, check your phone again.
Me?
Yeah,
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah.
that's a deflating balloon.
Yeah,
Dude, we got
so
no
that
team.
leaves
We
it
got no
up to they probably got Virginia in this tournament if it was up to me. I don't think they're going to do two Big East teams. Or sorry, three Big East teams. Ah, dang, dude, that sucks.
Yeah, that's brutal.
We turn it off. Be done.
Looking at the map right now, they're showing the map of all the hosts. 13 in the Southeast. That's crazy.
No, I wouldn't put Texas. I wouldn't say Texas or
Okay.
Fayetteville, Arkansas is the Southeast.
Then the map does it dirty. Then there's what, 11 in the Southeast?
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna try to be a little bit chipper. That was not the news that we were expecting pre-show.
Yeah, I'm assuming that I'm going to assume that Virginia got the nod in over the team that
Vanderbilt is your number 1 overall seed.
Yep.
Your
Texas
regular season means nothing. I cannot believe that.
Arkansas 3 and then Auburn 4. It's funny because Arkansas swept both Vanderbilt and Texas.
Yeah. The bottom line is 1 through 8 does not matter at all.
They're hosting throughout.
Well,
the only way it matters is that final bracket and pooling in Omaha.
Yeah, but still, at that point, you just play whoever lines up against you. 1 through 8 means nothing to me. It's really 9 through 16 doesn't mean a whole lot. It means a little bit more, but
wow.
Oregon State.
Wow.
Oregon State is a top 8.
Wow.
The Beavers are 8th overall.
That's a little surprising. Not surprising. I think they deserve it, but to not have anybody represent them on the selection committee and still getting a top 8 is really good.
I'm telling you, there was the Portland AD. He was looking out for the Beavs and he was looking out for the Ducks.
Yep. LSU getting a top 6. They deserve that. The RPI didn't reflect what they actually had this season, but yeah, them being a top 8 was a no-brainer for me.
All right, here we go. The Vanderbilt Regional. Ben, you want to do the honors?
No. Oh, yeah, you want me to? I'm a little bit behind.
Oh, Wright State is the 4.
That's such a tough draw. That is such a tough draw.
For the number 1 overall seed to get the Raider gang.
We saw that in 2021 with that amazing Drew Gilbert walk-off grand slam. That was one.
Tennessee was like a 5 seed, though.
Yeah. No.
Right.
Tennessee.
East Tennessee State is your 3 in Vandy, so they are not heading to Knoxville. Yeah, that was the easy travel partner there for ETSU. And then the 2 seed, Louisville. I was telling you guys, the battle of the barrel in a regional. Let's go.
Louisville to Vanderbilt is just so lazy, man. That's so lazy. It makes sense geographically, but come on.
I will say Vandy got a strong 4. I think they got one of the lower seeded 2s, so they were treated respectfully in that manner.
I'm going to say this: ETSU is going to they're going to put on a show in this regional. I'm a big fan of ETSU. Regular season conference champs, tournament conference champs out of the SoCon, 6th best RPI league in the country. They're good. Jack and I got to see them.
Hattiesburg Regional is next, the 16th seed, Southern Miss.
You are so far ahead of me.
I was going to say I'm ahead too, or Noah's ahead of me as well. I'll say this before we move on to Southern Miss. ETSU, top 4 in the country in homers, top 20 in the country in ERA. That's like a sneaky 3 seed. I understand that they're lower, so you show them some love, but like
I'm gonna be all over ETSU in that regional.
4
Yeah,
seed is Columbia in Hattiesburg.
Well, there's your best reaction so far.
Are they at like walk-ons right there? Is that what they
I know. It looks like they're. I don't know.
That looks
but it
like a
they're
conference room.
workout in. Yeah. Boys just got a little workout in.
Miami gets in off the bubble. That's
Oh
a
my
3
God.
seed there.
That's a good sign for Virginia too, I think, right?
I don't know if that's a great sign for who right now. That bubble was so tight this year.
Shout out to Will Smith and the Canes.
The
11.7
2
legend.
seed, Alabama. That was kind of
Yeah,
predicted.
that was pretty much like
Yep.
you could have put that in permanent marker.
That was your highest RPI 2
could've
seed,
put that.
and they're headed to the 16th seed mid-major host. That was,
And I'll tell you
a
what,
slam
look at
dunk.
that madman in the middle of the screen there. Alabama gets announced as the 2. The field of, the 16 regional host sites last night gets dropped, and like 10 to 15 Alabama players just tweeted out, sure. They get announced as the 2 seed in Southern Miss. Nobody's clapping, nobody's smiling, and Justin LeBron mean mugging the hell out of the camera. Alabama feels like they're a team like playing with a little bit of a chip on their shoulder. Southern Miss is a really, really, really good one, but Alabama's going to be a fun team to see if they can't play with that a little bit of tenacity that their coach does a good job of like building up with them.
All right. Tallahassee is your 8th seed. No, 9 seed. They are the 9 overall seed here. The Seminoles.
So, yeah.
That's
Hey,
kind
gut
of high for
reaction-
Florida State.
Gut reaction for that Southern Miss regional. Really good pitching all across. Like all 4 of those teams have really good arms. So maybe look at the unders.
Isn't this high for Florida State? 9th overall seed. They get Bethune as their 4th seed here.
Hey, shout out Coach Johnny.
You could have put that in permanent marker too. But
Mississippi
Bethune going to
State
Florida State.
is the 3 seed in Tallahassee.
Right.
Hail State, hell of a turnaround the last 4 weeks. Fire the coach and go on a hell of a run.
Played the 3 easiest teams in the
And Northeastern is the 2 seed, Ben. We were all over that. Let's go.
I projected that exact regional. Like,
Hey, remember when
Now, I
So-
wouldn't have had Florida State at 9. I don't think they deserve
No.
9 at all. Especially if you're going to punish North Carolina and not give them a top 4.
Hey, you know what that means too, Ben?
Yeah,
The Stetson Hatters are in
Stetson.
Auburn. That is the only other regional that the Hatters are able to bust to. So,
Yeah. So Florida State's the 9 and Oregon State is the 8, correct?
yeah.
That's a crazy super regional right there.
I don't think
Potential.
anybody really had that pairing as 8-9.
No.
Here we go. Corvallis, the 8th overall seed. Oregon State.
who was their tie against?
Iowa.
41-12-1. Iowa.
Iowa, due to travel constraints.
The boys watching in the cages, gritty.
Their 4 seed, St. Mary's.
The Gales.
The Gales knocked off San Diego in a thrilling 23-inning WCC final on Saturday night. Went over to the pool in center field, took a dip,
Yep.
confirmed all cannonballs, no pencil dice.
So rude. So rude. They got postseason
USC. USC gets in off the bubble as a 3 seed out of the Big Ten. The Big Ten's going to have 5 bids this year, boys.
That's
USC, Nebraska, Oregon, UCLA, and why am I blanking on the other?
oh wow. How about that?
TCU
How
is
about
the
that
2.
send? How about that send? I did not have that on my bingo card either.
I kind of figured that TCU may get sent west. It's an
Kirk
easy
Saw-
flight.
TCU USC first round game in Corvallis. Wow. You're going to see some elite pitching right there too.
I will say that if it's Caden Aoki, I do agree, but USC's kind of had some inconsistencies lately in that weekend rotation. So
So two things are true so far through this one. Dimitri was absolutely wrong about Stetson staying in the Sunshine State, but Dimitri was absolutely correct on Miami getting into the tournament. He said he didn't know if they should, but he said he knew that they would. So the Riz God was spot on with the Canes.
Yeah. We move on to the number 5 overall seed, North Carolina, in the Chapel Hill Regional. Their 4 seed is Holy Cross. Out of the Patriot League, they dethrone Army. Then look at the boys celebrate. There we go.
Dude, Holy Cross is a tough 4-seed matchup for North Carolina. Like, this isn't a
Right.
fluke team. Holy Cross beat Auburn this year, second week into the season.
Yep.
They're legit. Like, they can play ball. So
Nebraska is the 3 seed, so this got to be a strong 2. Because
Big Red Nation. What are you talking crap about, Big Red Nation? We got to get Big Red Nation Omaha this year.
I am not talking crap about Big Red Nation. They know how much I love them, but this is going to be a strong 2 here. Oklahoma. Okay. Former Big 12 matchup in the first round there.
Hey, congratulations, North Carolina, on your awesome season. Get ready to speak Kyson Witherspoon on Saturday night. Hey, that was sick. Congrats on being the 5. Like, have fun with Kyson Witherspoon on Saturday night in front of your fans.
Dude. I don't know if it do you think Kyson goes Saturday night and not Friday against Nebraska?
Friday.
You can't throw off against Nebraska.
And they're gonna throw off.
You can't.
It's bad. I only say it because it's like Ben's like least favorite thing in the world.
Oh, it's my least favorite too.
No, I like when 4 seed or like 3 and 4 seeds.
Your 12 overall seed
Yeah,
here
when
is
you're 1 and 2
Oregon, the Eugene Regional. There's Mason Neville in the bunch in the front row. And we're looking at the 4 seed of Utah Valley. That makes a lot of sense.
Yep.
Winning the WAC. Congratulations to Wolverines. Their offense is legit.
Those are cool jackets or whatever.
Jackets. Get in the lab, home field apparel. Cal Poly is the 3 seed in Eugene. So this is going to be a week or 2.
3 seed. I was expecting Poly to maybe sneak into the 2 seed.
Oh my God, this region is pretty strong. It's Arizona as the 2 seed here. You got 2 tournament champions plus the auto bid. That's the 4. So 3 tournament champions here in this regional. In Arizona, Cal Poly, and Utah Valley.
They all 3 won their conference tournaments.
Yeah, I corrected myself and saying 3.
Yeah, that's
a strong
tough
regional
draw for Eugene.
Yeah.
Eugene Regional.
Shout out Anson Arrows, number 77, getting some highlights in that package. He had 2 there.
All right, so guys, my early favorite so far, I thought Oregon had the coolest setup for a camera view, and Holy Cross had the best reaction so far. Those are my 2 favorites. Yeah, I don't know what is that move. I like it.
I don't know. All right, we got Coastal Carolina, the Chanticleers are 13th overall.
I see, guys. We're in flip flops. That rocked.
They did.
The 4 seed is Fairfield. Oh my God, that's a strong 4.
Yeah, they did them so dirty.
Oh, they got screwed
Fairfield was
here.
on that 3 borderline bubble, like 70-something RPI.
Keep an eye out on Florida being a 2 seed here if they really get disrespected. East Carolina is the 3 in Conway.
Wow.
Wait a second. I totally forgot. Why the hell are they not a national seed?
That's what I was thinking. I would almost flip Florida State and Coastal's rankings.
They had the most wins in the country. Their RPI was right up there. There's Florida. Oh my God, dude. You're like a half minute behind me, Ben.
Yeah.
Florida is the 2. I called that.
Wait, that's actually crazy. Coastal got done dirty.
Dude, dirty.
I mean, they're gonna be good. They're pitching. I'm not like Florida's a 2 seed. Like that just sucks. But like Coastal's got the pitching to beat anyone in the country. They don't care. But like, I didn't even realize that. Quigs, I know you're
regional.
Quigs, I know you're in here. Clip this. What you guys should be an 8. Like this is insane that you guys aren't a national seed. That's wild.
That should be.
Seed. You get Florida coming to town, and then East Carolina and Fairfield. Like, there's not a single easy game on that. Like, that is tough.
Then the super regional pairing is the Auburn Regional. They are the 4th overall seed. They will see Central Connecticut in their first game, the champions out of the Northeast Conference. The Blue Devils.
Shout out for the final time this season. Shout out the Sharks. R.I.P. Long Nine.
3 seed is Stetson in the Auburn Regional.
We called that.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we did.
The boys are
Hey,
excited.
How many miles, Ben?
399 miles exactly from DeLand, Florida to Auburn. So they only have to pay for a bus.
And NC State is year 2. Did I drill this correctly?
Big Jacob Duden.
I did. I had that regional correct. I think I tweeted out the wrong regional on my personal. I think I tweeted out the one that we all compromised on. Like I was going to put my personal on my Twitter, and I just tweeted out the reshared one, just less cool graphic as Dimitri.
It does look like a pretty campus.
Postal hosting NC State in a super would be dreams come true. Or
yeah,
NC
but
State
instead,
hosting, or NC State hosting East Carolina in a super.
Yeah.
All right. It looks like we're heading to a commercial here.
Oh, come on.
We're halfway through the bracket. Shout out to all of you guys watching along right now. A strong contingency of over 300 on YouTube, and Twitter's going crazy too. So a lot of respect to all you guys as well. There we go. Love that.
Instant reactions. Anybody? My boy Nash. If Tennessee does pull out the pencils, I've got some plants out there. If we can get some pencils in these shots, I'm gonna be pretty fired up. But man, for instant reactions, Coastal got done dirty. That's the first thing that stands out. Like I didn't even realize it. You're stoked for Oregon State because I do believe that like you can control the controllables in a college baseball slate. They busted their ass in the offseason to make sure that they had the perfect schedule to make sure that they could be in this position. But man, what else do you do if you're Coastal? Like
yeah. To Sean Bennett's comment here, wanting to recap the bubble.
Let's recap the bubble. So Miami already got in, and we know Troy is out. So there's 6 teams remaining for 3 spots.
Yeah, we got the text that Troy's out. We haven't seen that Troy's out, but
the text is Troy is out, confirmed, which is freaking heartbreaking. But anyway, so we have Kentucky, UConn, Xavier, Arizona State. Oh, USC got in.
Yep, USC is in.
So USC is in. So we have 2 spots, 4 teams on the bubble: Kentucky, Xavier, UConn, and Virginia. Which of those 2 are going to get in?
Are we we announced it? We're doing this. Are we doing this now?
What?
No.
Are we doing Troy talk now? I mean, you did just kind of say it.
No. We're doing it after.
We'll do it after. I mean, I don't want to take away from the teams that actually made the field.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's true. Good looks. Good looks. Hey,
I want to say one thing. The Coastal Carolina Regional, they got shafted, right? But the uniform matchups in those games and the color schemes, incredible. You get the teal and black, you get the orange and blue, you get the red and black, and you get the purple and yellow.
Hey Ben, turn on the YouTube chat. Somebody in Twitter just said that the YouTube chat on 11.7 is turned off.
Oh,
this
what?
guy. Shout out to boy Michael
Or
Goldberg.
hit subscribe. Maybe that's
you have to subscribe.
Yeah,
subscribe.
Yeah, do it. I dare you, Michael. Do it.
That is definitely probably what the current setting is. So subscribe, and then you'll be able to comment.
I know we were doing bubble talk, but Ben, I would just like to add the biggest Longhorn fan I know is saying this. I didn't say it. Nash said it. I didn't say it. Guys, Nash Talk Texas is a must follow. He does great work for the University of Texas, but also just making badass college baseball edits anyways. He just started a new college baseball page. But if he's saying it, not me.
Nash is one of my favorite follows on Twitter. He's so funny with his videos and graphics and things like that. If we had extra money in the bank, I would try to hire Nash in a heartbeat. But then we couldn't have 2 Texas Longhorns working for us. That would be
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Sure. Hassan Barzani asking if UTSA is in. They are in. I would keep my eyes peeled for this very first regional that's probably going to get discussed. It will be, I think Texas is your number 2 overall seed, and UTSA is probably going to be the 2 there, 2 seed in Austin.
Let me see if I can fix the YouTube chat. Apparently, I have it turned off, which is dumb of me. I don't know what I'm doing. So let's just check this out.
The college experience chat is on and working. Those are the YouTube highlighted chats here. And here we go. The Austin Regional, the number 2 overall seed, those Longhorns, who are 42-12 out of the SEC. A
Houston
very
Christian.
casual reaction here from the Horns. Even got some yawning in the front row.
Oops.
They get Houston Christian as their 4.
Lock, man.
How about those Huskies? Our 3 seed in the Austin Regional is Kansas State.
Oh, wow. That was another bubble team that was never on the bubble. There's your Kansas State answer.
Yep.
Ooh, showing a little Big 12 love up front.
And the 2 seed here is UTSA.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could have just penciled that in.
Thanks.
No, I have no idea how to turn on comment. Oh, here we go. Comments are disabled for this stream. Learn more.
Ooh, love the little mid-major look in. You guys see that little shoebox locker room for UTSA, man? That made me feel right at home. Feel like you're getting changed with the boys on a nice little Sunday morning with the fellas getting ready to play either a salvage Sunday rubber match guy, all in.
Nash Talks Texas also mentioned that D. Kennedy, the Texas transfer who currently plays for Kansas State, is returning to Austin.
All right, I think I fixed the YouTube comments. I think you can go in now.
The Los Angeles Regional, 15 seed overall, is UCLA.
That's about right. I think between them and Oregon, one was going to get 12, 13, one was going to get 13, 14. That makes sense.
Fresno State is their 4 seed.
That's tough.
I would be looking at UC Irvine as the 2.
For sure.
And Arizona State is the 3 seed here.
Wow, Arizona State gets in.
They get in off the bubble from the Big 12. That was not a great finish. They got swept in Stillwater against Oklahoma State, and then they lose the first game to BYU. And there are those Anteaters as the 2.
Eaters.
Arizona State. Sneaky, talented team. Not even sneaky. They get rolling. They could end up in Omaha. Those games will be nice to watch at midnight Eastern on Friday.
We talked about it last night. 2 brothers getting the opportunity to play against each other. Chase Call, Irvine, UCLA. Well, assuming that they, both win and take care of business. But then his brother Phoenix Call. That'll be a lot of fun. Cool for that family as well.
Call Bowl.
So we get one. Wait, timeout. We have one bubble spot remaining, right? For either Kentucky, UConn, Xavier, Virginia.
I think that's correct. Ole Miss is the 10th overall seed here.
On Kentucky.
Their 4 is Murray State. That is a strong 4.
Hey,
That's a
flashbacks
strong 4.
to 2018. Murray State, very similar to that Tennessee Tech team that went into Oxford.
Are they like throwing
New
a
winners.
pass blocking here?
New winners, Murray State with the offensive line pass block routine. New winners, Murray State. They've absolutely just won that regional.
Western Kentucky. So Western Kentucky and Murray State might just go together. They might just fly together to this regional here. And the 2 seed is Georgia Tech and Ole Miss.
We had that. We had that in our projection, right?
No, we had TCU there.
Oh, I think I had them in my projection.
Okay.
Georgia Tech got screwed. I think they should have hosted.
For what it's worth, I had Georgia Tech in my personal as well.
Yeah. Georgia Tech should have hosted. Like what they did in the regular season deserved to host, winning the ACC outright regular season. But we get to see Drew Burress knocking over some beer cans in left field, which would be nice.
Who would you have?
Right field, right?
They do it in left as well.
Okay. I thought the family and friends were in left, and then all the students are in right. I could be wrong. I'm talking to the baseball encyclopedia. Athens Regional, Georgia, the number 7 overall seed here. They look really excited. Oh, here we go. There's a dude wearing a dog mask in there, too. That's great.
I know who it is, too. Shout out to Nolan McCarthy.
There we go. All right. Binghamton is the 4 seed down there in Athens.
Someone forgot to clean the camera at Binghamton.
The 3 seed is Oklahoma State Cowboys down there in Athens.
They were semi-fringe bubble.
Keep an eye out for Duke here as the 2. Wake Forest as the 2.
Wake Forest, Duke. I would imagine an ACC team will be this 2 seed.
There's Duke.
Yep.
That'll be fun.
Yeah, that's actually Devin Obie playing his former team if the 1 and 2 seeds play against each other there. Obie, the outfielder for Georgia.
Man.
Good luck, Binghamton. That's a tough draw.
That's a weird looking slate, isn't it?
It really is.
That's a weird looking slate. Like a
The
month ago.
The Baton Rouge regional here. The 6th overall seed LSU Tigers.
Oh, Xavier's going to go here, right? Because they always go here.
No, I would say probably UConn if I had to guess.
Dallas Baptist could be the 2 seed here.
Yep.
Little Rock gets to LSU. So that's North Dakota State will be in Arkansas, by the way, for everybody out there. That those Arkansas fans are pretty picky at who they want in their regional. They do realize that they don't usually get to pick who gets sent to Fayetteville. So, yeah. Rhode Island is the 3 in LSU. So I'm sensing a strong 2. That could be very well Dallas Baptist.
Yep.
God,
I would assume Dallas Baptist.
Oh, my God. You want to talk about camera, Jack? Look at Rhode Island.
Wouldn't have been in Fairfax. Wouldn't have happened in Fairfax.
Oh, and then there's DBU, the 2 seed there.
LSU with 3 mid-majors.
I was just about to say they have 3 mid-majors in the Baton Rouge regional.
I mean, the box is going to off.
They're going to feed.
Dude, Jackson Wells for Little Rock is going to give LSU all they can handle, though. One of the best 4 seed starting pitchers on Friday.
I agree. The numbers don't show it this year. His it was the second time through the Sun Belt. The scouting report was a little bit better against Wells, but I mean, man, that's his 3rd year there. He's been a dude for the Little Rock Trojans. Clemson Regional is paired up with LSU here in the Super. The Tigers are probably going to see USC Upstate as their 4 seed.
Yep.
I would keep an eye out on a potential Kentucky bubble 3. This is your answer if you're the Wildcats here. This is one of the regionals that I was commonly landing with them. This might be a bubble 3 seed. And it's Kentucky. Yeah, it is the Wildcats.
So there's a really good chance, unless something crazy happens, that the Big East is a 1-bid league. No UConn, no Xavier, and Virginia's out.
And the 2 seed is West Virginia and Clemson.
Oh, that's a fun regional. That's a big home field regional. Well, that's the coolest spot yet. Where are we getting after it, Mounties?
Looks like the club in Morgantown.
Love that.
I'm gonna go ahead and say it. That might be my 4 seed to advance out of a regional.
Yeah.
I kind of like the matchups. Like the way Upstate plays ball, they're very offensive. The other 3 teams not offensive.
I know what they say about you too, Ben.
Clemson doesn't really have an identity. They're like a chameleon. They'll pitch well one game. They'll put up 8 runs in 1 inning another game. They're chameleon.
Now, Clemson LSU Super would put butts in seats.
Yes, the battle for Death Valley.
Yeah.
Tennessee is the 14th overall seed here, guys. The Knoxville region.
That's crazy.
So the 4 seed is Miami, Ohio.
Elite.
That's tough. Dude, that's a tough draw.
Elite. They're good.
The ETSU common pairing of a 3 seed is not there. I'm curious who this would be.
Maybe Creighton?
Cincinnati.
Cincinnati the 3. So Cincinnati was also somewhat on the bubble, but I thought they were comfortably in.
And then I think this might be Wake Forest as the 2.
It's got to be Wake. That's the only team that fits.
The Demon Deacons are heading to
Yeah.
Knoxville.
Good
A
call,
rematch
guy.
of the 2023 College World Series.
Semis. Quarters.
Well, no, this it was quarters, I believe, right?
Quarters. Yeah, it was the Chase Burns recruiting game.
Sure.
They're pumped. They're pumped to be at Tennessee.
Well, I mean, just think of it. That ballpark plays pretty similarly to the Couch. They're both shoeboxes.
So we get Liam Doyle facing a really good Miami, Ohio offense. That'll be interesting.
Arkansas is the number 3 overall seed. We kind of knew that already. No surprise. That is one bright A, and they look enthused. Oh, here we go.
North Dakota State.
Some claps around for Arkansas. They're 4 seed North Dakota State. Like we mentioned, they are 20-32 in the regular season here. So I'm looking at Kansas as the possible 2 in Fayetteville.
It's got to be Kansas Creighton right here.
And Creighton, yeah. There's Creighton as the 3. Is this the final team that we're going to is this the final regional?
I hope we get a reaction on a bus. Usually there's always one on a bus, right?
Kansas is the 2. Was that the final regional, guys? I think it was. So Texas A&M and Virginia both left out. Number 1 and number 2 overall in the preseason. Cooked. We're looking at
UConn
Troy.
out, Xavier out, Troy out.
Troy and UConn and Xavier. So the Big East only got 1 bid.
No, wait, we get one more regional.
We get 1 more?
Right.
Wait, like would be 2 more then, right? I think we're done.
Yeah,
I think we are done.
I think we're done.
For some reason, I didn't see. Oh, I do remember UCLA's regional.
We are
now.
done. Now J.R. Teagues is on the call here.
Jay looks good.
Am I allowed to put my volume on here?
Sure. I don't care. We don't monetize much anyways. So.
I want to give a shout out to all our troops out there for this Memorial Day. Thank you for your service.
Our team shouts out the troops. Yeah, I mean, is this loud? Does this bother you guys at all?
I can barely hear it.
Okay.
I don't know.
I'm going to have that on in the background. Let's do the Troy talk.
Let's have a conversation about this. This
So
right here.
the Trojans were left out, but the Sun Belt got 2 regional hosts. I was talking to Rocco Miller, who frequently does this and studies committees, and he said that horse trading kind of happens frequently. He was not surprised that, the Sun Belt and Southern Miss's AD may have gotten a host in exchange for a bubble team possibly getting in rather than Troy getting in.
Yep.
Southeastern Louisiana, first team left out. These probably aren't in order. Troy, first 4 left out. UConn, first 4 left out. Virginia, first 4 left out. The final 4 in were Arizona State, Kansas State, Oklahoma State, and USC. 3 Big 12 in the final 4 in. Kentucky was not on the last 4 in. Who else was not in the last 4 in? Comfortable. Miami wasn't last 4 in.
Miami not being last 4 in does surprise me. It's crazy that Xavier, with all that they did, like scheduling non-conference, playing the number 1 strength of schedule in the country, was not even first 4 out.
Crazy. I can't believe. Personally, I had Xavier above UConn. Just looking at those 2 resumes, they were very, very similar. And Xavier had the 3-2 record against UConn.
Well, here's the thing. Ben is right. This is a lot of quid pro quo. So, hey, TCU, you don't get a regional host. Let's put in a lot of teams that maybe didn't deserve to get in. Hey, Southern Miss, you get a host. We're going to leave the 3 seed out who only lost 1 weekend series all year. So I want to go back to this. Didn't deserve to host. Choked it bad. One weekend series loss all year. It's what have you done for me instead of what are you doing for me? Like they were nearly perfect all season long. In one bad stretch in the last 2 weeks in your sayonara. This is another example where it's like a kind of scratch your back and we'll scratch yours for you. In the ACC schools as well. I don't know, man. It's interesting.
It's
That's
surprising
back-to-back
to
years
see.
where they feel like they got.
It's so surprising to see 3 Big 12 teams in the last 4 in. If we're trying to grow the game and like get more teams involved, like let's throw a Big East team in there, right? Let's throw a team that plays in a highly competitive conference and like has big fan bases that maybe aren't 100% behind baseball. Like let's start that fire. Let's light that flame, get them rolling. UConn's been to back-to-back super regionals. Let's throw them back in there, see if they can make some magic.
That was a quick interview from J.R. Teagues. He's already done. Alrighty.
These guys, imagine going to class for a whole semester, not knowing what you're going to be graded on, and then at the same time, you show up the last day of the semester and they're like, hey, only 16 of these people are going to get A's, and only 64 classmates are going to pass the class. The other 240, you're going to fail, and we're going to make the decision. We're not going to follow up with you all year. We're going to talk for 10 seconds on camera and be done. Like, that's crazy. We got to change something. The committee's got to start giving us updates throughout the year to base stuff off.
Well, I'll tell you this, and I think that he said it last year, and Ben, you alluded to it, obviously earlier in the show. This idea that Mike Rooney has said, hey, obviously everyone feels like every season someone got snubbed and someone got done dirty. It happens in every sport and every season. Like, this is not personal to baseball, right? When Mike Rooney and yourself are potentially pitching, a 4-team expansion, like, to me, that doesn't feel aggressive enough to like completely change the format. It doesn't feel like it's ruining the purity of like, oh, well, everyone gets in. Like, I get that you have to like get those big time schools and you have to honor, Big 12 teams that really challenge themselves all season long. But we are like doing a disservice to mid-major programs. Like Troy went and played at Alabama, Auburn. The Sun Belt is a historic, really awesome conference, but because maybe of I don't want to say conference realignment, but more so the portal where teams are stacking heavily, you're seeing a Sun Belt conference not perform as high as they usually do. Still insanely stacked, or clearly you agree so as well by putting 2 teams in regional host sites. But
Yeah.
You feel for a program for 2 years in a row that feels like they did enough, but have fallen short this time of the season. I don't know. It's back and forth, right? I think if you add those 4 teams, it takes away the ability for a lot of programs to feel left out, where it'll be a little bit more clear cut because that bubble's a little weird. Like Southern Cal in the Big Ten this year is such a mystery. I'm stoked for those guys and that they got in, but I'm almost willing to guarantee that half the committee did not watch a single Southern Cal baseball game all year. Like I'm let's be honest.
I will add input here. Like, to me, I'm relatively surprised that Kentucky didn't land on a last 4 in graphic at all. But at the same time, I'm not surprised at all because we saw it last year, and I even warned Ben about it, that none of the 13-win SEC teams were even on that last 4 in graphic. Kentucky, 29-24 overall. They were 13-17 in conference. They didn't win a SEC tournament team game, so they were 13-18. 8-19 in quad 1. Just 4-1 in quad 2. That's a combined record of 12-20. With a 191st ranked non-conference strength of schedule. I don't know how you reward that as like not even giving that a slight look as, hey, does this team, should they be on the bubble? Should they,
It's setting the wrong precedent for these teams. For the SEC, their magic number now is 13. They play a 56-game schedule. If they can just get to 13 wins, they're in the tournament, right? Versus a team like Troy or a team like UConn or Xavier who has to like go out of conference, try to schedule games against teams that don't really want to play them, and play a 56 game schedule, and they get told on noon on Selection Monday, like, still didn't do enough. Even though Troy has the series win over regional host Coastal Carolina, they lose 4 games down the stretch to one of the hottest teams in the country, Southern Miss. Like, it sucks. Like, I'm frustrated for Troy. I'm frustrated for Xavier. Frustrated for UConn. And to be honest, still a little frustrated that Virginia didn't get in. They get a series canceled because of a tragic episode at Florida State's campus. And that would have bumped their RPI up probably 15 to 20 points just playing that series and giving them more quad 1 games. So, like, the Virginia team, sure, they played a terrible non-conference strength of schedule, but they still, in my opinion, they did enough in ACC play. So I don't know. I'm talking in circles now.
I think Virginia's going to be looking for a new coach by the end of the week.
Yeah,
That's
could
bold.
definitely see him getting called at A&M.
Well,
A&M?
Mississippi State.
I don't. I
A&M.
think
Mississippi State is currently
I
the
think he's
open
going
spot.
to. I think he's going to cook some brisket down at Starkville, brother. Yeah, I'm with you, Ben. Yeah, UConn too is another team. What was the RPI 40?
Yeah.
And they're a consistent staple every season. They play really good baseball at this time of the year, every year. So you're not taking that into consideration versus Troy, who was off to a blistering start all season, except for the last 2 seasons or 2 weeks. So it doesn't, like, that math doesn't really math, right? I get Oklahoma State played well down the stretch, but like, did they do enough at 28 and 23? Like that 28 and 23? That was Florida a year ago, but they had Cags like that. Florida, I don't know. Who knows? And I know for a fact Southern Miss fans are going to come for my throat because I'm not even kind of getting started yet. Still formulating my thoughts from even before the selection show started. Southern Miss fans are at my throat because I'm all over the Troy bandwagon. I just think what they've built there. Obviously, Southern Miss and Coastal are long, outstanding, traditioned programs in the Sun Belt. What Skylar Meade and Troy have done in the last couple of years, remarkable. Southern Miss fans, you should be pissed that you didn't get your third team in. Like, I understand that there's a rivalry there. You dominated, really, frankly, the last 2 years. Like, Southern Miss, and Sun Belt fans in general should be upset that the third team didn't get in.
All right, let me pull up the bracket here because we did get a super chat that I want to actually go through all of the
Edit
regionals.
this layout real quick. We got a couple of
I'm trying to
things
fix
covering
it. Let's
this up a
hide
little
that.
bit.
There we go.
There we go.
And then let's do maybe.
I'm currently trying to find a printable bracket because I need this thing on paper.
Here we go. Yeah, sure enough, it's going to take a week before the printable brackets are ready. All right, so Justin Anderson with the super chat here. Hardest and easiest regionals. So we appreciate you, Justin, there. That money will go to Noah's Omaha Fund.
You paid $5?
But here we go. So here's the top. Here's half of the bracket right here. So Vanderbilt is 1 overall. Wright State is there 4. Louisville, ETSU. I would say that is a sneaky tough regional, but not even close to the easiest or the toughest. My brain instantly goes down for easiest regional. Where's the LSU at? Where are the Tigers? Did I pass them? That LSU regional was
3 minutes.
Just the fact that there weren't.
Oh, here we go. They're over here. Little Rock below 500 on the season. They're the 8th seed in the OVC tournament. Make a miracle run. You get Rhode Island as the 3. I know the A10 means more, Jack, but them and Alex Box is going to be a tough scene. And then
They were
Dallas
one of the least strong threes too.
Right, least strong threes. Now Dallas Baptist could give LSU fits, but like, are they going to beat LSU twice on their home field? I don't think so. Especially with the Cade Anderson, Ianson 1-2 punch. Like, take your pick for that 1-0 game. So I would say LSU is my easiest regional, and then toughest regional. I mean, it has to be Coastal Carolina.
Fairfield could have been a 3 seed. Florida was almost a host, and then East Carolina, talent-wise, is really good, and they're hot right now. A lot to play for. So I would say that would be my toughest. What about you guys?
I'd like to option a weirdest. Like if you love small ball and really fun, like weird baseball, Clemson for sure. Like Clemson is identified as a run scoring offense all year. West Virginia, Kentucky play really similar styles of baseball. And then Upstate's kind of like the dark horse. Hey, we'll actually beat you with the long ball team in that regional. That's going to be the weirdest one for sure. I can't wait to watch those games. A lot of hit and run, a lot of slash. It's going to be electric.
I will go strongest regional. I'll do Florida State, Tallahassee regional. Florida State, they get a very good 2 in Northeastern who finished the season red freaking hot with a winning streak there. Mississippi State as a 15-win SEC 3 seed. And then Bethune-Cookman, who I know we think and love the Wildcats over there. My runner-ups, like Coastal, I think this bottom left, I think this left side of the bracket actually has a lot more weight than the right overall. Maybe I'm going a little bit too far on that, but I think the Auburn regional is pretty strong too, guys. Auburn, NC State, Stetson. And then Central Connecticut there too.
Right. So, like, I'm looking at potential super regional matchups now, and we'll start up here at the top. Vandy Southern Miss would be amazing, but like, even if Louisville sneaks in there, or ETSU, like, I feel comfortable with 5 of, or let's just say these top 2 teams, like top 4 teams over here on the left side: Vanderbilt, Louisville, Southern Miss, and Alabama. Like, I think they're all Omaha potential teams. Southern Miss drawing Alabama is going to be awesome must-watch television if they do match up. Over here on the right side, like, can UTSA be that Cinderella darling that upsets the in-state foe Texas, their parent college, and make it to a super and go out west? UCLA, like Texas, UCLA, Texas, Irvine, UCLA, like, I don't know. What do you guys think about this super regional matchup? Because now I'm kind of torn.
I don't know. I'd like to ask the Riz God his thoughts on it. Are you torn, Riz God?
Is he in here? Oh, what's up, Dimitri?
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, he is.
Hey guys.
Dimitri Cortis in the house.
You're right. Miami got in. I said I don't think they will, and they got in. So
Ben, you nailed Northeastern Tallahassee. Absolutely nailed it.
I want credit too.
Credit to you, Noah, as well.
Thank you.
Hey, I told you, Big East. Both are in or both are out.
you did say that. That's a good point. Because
But,
you couldn't separate UConn and Xavier. Like, metrics wise, they almost matched up perfectly.
You know what's really interesting in their last 4 in, first 4 out? They slipped Southeastern Louisiana in there. I don't know if it was a publicity stunt or what, because Xavier was by far and away and more of a first 4 out team than Southeastern Louisiana. So I don't know what that was for. I think that was just to put Southeastern Louisiana's name on the screen.
I got no problem with that.
I think it came down to probably their votes. Like, I still think that Southeastern Louisiana's AD on the committee had strong support, and it just wasn't strong enough. I think that's probably my biggest prediction of why Southeastern was there. Because I'm surprised that Virginia, were they on that last 4 in graphic, Dimitri?
So the last 4 in with Arizona State, Kansas State, Oklahoma State, and USC. Kentucky not being there, it blows my mind that Kansas State was the last 4 in instead of Kentucky. And then first 4 out: Southeastern Louisiana, Troy, UConn, Virginia.
Okay, Virginia was there. So yeah, Xavier's the big one that I just don't understand why they weren't there.
Yeah, I mean, looking.
Dimitri, I'm looking through our feed right now on 11.7. You commented on Oregon State, or no, sorry, Auburn's regional being a gauntlet of a regional. So that's Auburn, Stetson, NC State, Central Connecticut. Gauntlet for Coastal Carolina, Florida, East Carolina. Any other potential weak or strong regionals there, Dimitri? In your opinion?
I think Texas got exactly what a number two national seed deserved. UTSA can easily beat them, but just purely on metrics and stuff, I think they really seeded that one well. I think depending on which Cincinnati team and which Wake Forest team shows up, I think Tennessee can be a really difficult regional. The Cincinnati that shows up every now and then in Big 12 play is a really good team.
Yes.
So I think that could be a difficult regional. I think Clemson, for not being a national seed, got a pretty good regional. I think West Virginia showed everybody. Their 41 wins were the product of their weak schedule. They lost almost all the difficult series they had. So I think Clemson fared out pretty well. They avoided the SEC team, but I think Clemson got a good draw.
My final takeaway on that last 4 in, first 4 out. The Big 12 did not get a host, but the Big 12 got all 3 of their bubble teams into the field of 64.
Do you think maybe there was a trade between ADs? Hey
Ben, there's a comment covering you, by the way.
Oh, sorry.
Can we hide this comment
here?
There we go. I want to see Ben's pretty face.
Sorry. Do you think there was a trade in the AD committee room? Like, hey, Southern Miss, we'll give you a host, but we want all of our bubble teams in with the Big 12.
I mean, that's what Noah was saying yesterday. Hey, we'll give you this, but you got to give us that.
Yeah.
So maybe that's exactly what it was.
Yeah, I mean, the ACC didn't really benefit from that, though. They didn't get their regular season champ host, and they didn't get Virginia in.
Guys, I get it. Georgia Tech didn't play the top 4 teams in the ACC, but it's a Power 4 conference champ with 3 hosts already. It's just tough for me to.
So who would you have them host over?
Who what?
Who would you have them take? Because like Tennessee is the 14. Would you sub them out and put?
The only team I would, as good of a team I think Southern Miss is, to not be a Power 4 school and not win your regular season or tournament. As good as Southern Miss was, they were right behind one of the best teams in the country in Coastal. So I get it that they didn't win, but to not be a regular season champ or a tournament champ in a non-Power 4 conference and get a hosting bid speaks volume to the committee's feelings about the Sun Belt and to Southern Miss as a team this year.
I agree. I agree with you. I agree. By not putting Troy in, I think you lose the ability to have your only 2 teams be regional host. So whether that be TCU or Georgia Tech, that last seed, like if you're not going to put your 3rd best team in, who's been in the top 25 all season, who has got a good enough RPI, who's a bubble squad, whose only weekend loss all year is 2 said regional hosts, then that team doesn't deserve to host a regional. And I think Southern Miss is a bona fide host spot. I just more so meaning the reasoning, like how do we get to this point? I also would like to add, we're talking Georgia Tech on ESPN right now. And Ben Drew Burris has got a chain that might be blinding America right now. I mean, this thing is fat.
You know what? That's the other thing I wanted to say. If you're going to reward the Sun Belt and Southern Miss not winning the regular season or the tournament as being a host, how do you not give the 3rd best team in that conference a regional bid? Troy. That's the thing with mid-major. One weekend can ruin everything for you. At Mercer, we had the same thing. In 2014, we were a top 25 team in the country. We had a bad 10 days, and we got left out. And Oregon was the last 4 in. We were first 4 out because we had a bad 10 days to end the season. It's just the way it works with mid-majors. You got to be perfect.
That's true.
Hey, go ahead.
I want to go back to one more gripe before maybe we move on from all this. So the top 4 overall seeds are all SEC, right? It was Vanderbilt, Texas, Arkansas, Auburn. I think that's a huge issue. Like North Carolina was a half game out of the regular season title in the ACC. They looked dominant in the ACC tournament. To me, that was a top 4 team. And now you have 4 SEC teams with top seeds in Omaha if chalk holds. And I just don't love that. Now one conference is the home team and all the important games in your centralized location.
You know what else? They put Vandy in because they had the best metric, the best resume in the country. They didn't win the regular season. They won the tournament, though. So that means they went off RPI and said, hey, we're not giving Texas the number 1 national team. We're giving it to Vandy. But how can you go right there and skip right over Georgia and go to Auburn when Georgia was right there at number 2? So, like, it's fine. It's fine. I don't want to complain about everything, but they cherry-picked that a little bit, which is fine. I don't think it's a big deal if you're number 2, number 4, number 5. If you're top 8, you're top 8. But, yeah, I was like, how are we giving Auburn it but skipping right over Georgia, putting them at, I think there was 7?
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with complaining about this, and like I don't mind when people complain about the selection committee or the show or whatever, because it shows that people actually care about the sport. You wouldn't complain if you didn't actually care, but there are still just some head scratching moments that we get from here. So let's kind of plan for this week, since we are live, as far as like the show schedule, since all 4 of us are here. Do we want to record a podcast today, like after this live show, and go over the field and do all of that, and then maybe tomorrow or Wednesday do like our official picks? Give us a couple days to research.
Yeah.
You guys?
Hey, one more thing. What if college baseball, because we don't know what the committee's thinking the whole way through. We just find out in this hour show on Selection Show Monday. What if the committee said, here's our top 25 throughout the season?
Oh, that'd be cool.
Like college football had the playoff, with the BCS ranking. We knew who they thought were the best team. We knew where they thought everybody was all year or halfway from the second half. What if college baseball did a thing so everyone can have an idea instead of just guessing everything?
No, Dimitri, that's a great idea, because they do it. And like, we're not asking for one every week, but like, let's say they started the weekend after March Madness when basketball concludes, when more eyes are directed to the sport of college baseball. And just like the college football playoff, where like week 7, they do that every night, Sunday night drop, where they like add the teams and do the whole deal. Not only do you do a top 25, but you're also doing like regional host, right? So you can see the thought process in week to week basis. That might be the best idea you've had on this damn show. It is the year of, Dimitri. Well done.
But it's like
great idea.
It's like we have no idea, so they can do whatever they want. They can do whatever they want. We have no idea how they feel about Team A, Team B, Team C. They can put Team C in front of Team A because nobody knows what they thought the last 10 weeks. So, I mean, I would think let the committee put out their own top 25 based on metrics, resumes, whatever they want, their power ranking. So we know. Southern Miss comes out of nowhere and hosts. Everyone was hyping it up. But what if nobody said a word about Southern Miss hosting? Do you think the committee would have put Georgia Tech or whoever? Yeah. I think they hype it up and everyone just kind of goes along with it.
Yeah. I will say this, kind of listening along. I thought Jared Teagues did a really good job. He actually did come really well prepped on like the UConn Xavier conversation. Like I thought he did an awesome job of like, hey, this is why we thought this way, and this was the thought process. Kind of what you guys alluded to, like they were both so similar that there is no way to separate them. It doesn't make it right, but at least you go, okay, cool. I really appreciate him, and I've gotten to know him over the past 2 years, and like he's an awesome human being. So he was killer on that ESPN show. I don't know if he wants to be on TV, but he's good.
I don't know if you guys noticed, but on the Chiron, whatever thing, you could see his hand shaking uncontrollably. Oh, really? And he was so nervous. And I'm sure maybe I don't know if it's because he's in front of the TV, but he knows he has to answer the hard-hitting question. And he knows he doesn't have the right perfect answer for each one of them. I would be shaking my ass off, too, if I had to bullshit my way through a question in front of a national audience.
Guys, how do we feel about this? Because I actually went off on like how I think it's a great idea. I think 72 is too many. I think 68 is the perfect number. If they do it in basketball, why can't we do it in baseball? What are y'all's thoughts on this? I said yes. You don't like it?
No. I hate this.
Really?
I agree with Dan. I'm kind of sick of like us throwing this narrative on the one show that's watched nationally by everybody. I thought the bubble was not great this year, to be honest. I thought there were a lot of teams that were struggling to make really good cases on this year's bubble. Yeah, I don't see a need to really expand. And also, like, I know that I don't know if this is what the comment was really going at with Dan talking about Rooney on the selection committee show, but he's always pitching like the 32 hosts for the 64 overall NCAA tournament teams. To me, like, just big picture, that's so hard to pull off because now you've got even more games on ESPN Plus rather than in one location. You've got 7 games that are all on ESPN2, ESPNU, ESPN, SEC Network, ACC Network. Now you have 32 different booths,
Jack
right,
might get a
Jack?
job
Like,
then,
that's
though.
so hard.
Yeah,
to pull
dude.
off.
What are you talking about? You're
Jack
doing
could get a
is
job,
helping me get fired up about this. Like, maybe I'll get some work. You're telling me that's like Lloyd Christmas. Maybe I got a shot. But like, okay, so let's go back to your first point though. The regional thing, that's neither here or there. Like, I think that's a little far fetched. I've only heard Runes go about the extra 4 teams, which I love, because like the 3 that we are like, in my opinion, dead set on. Xavier, UConn couldn't tell them apart. Throw them in together. Let's show the Big East some love. Troy absolutely deserves to be in this tournament. That's 3. And then like that. Those are easy cases. If you think the bubble's a little weak, I can still make very valid arguments. It feels like outside of those 3, I think is when it gets a little bit dicey. I know Dan had talked about like worrying about putting more in SEC teams to like really like obviously boost those guys, but to me it would be Virginia would be that next 4, and then it becomes pretty clear cut. And then like nobody after that is feels. I mean, everyone will always feel snubbed, right? But those 4 to me felt pretty obvious.
Yeah, I think college baseball has
Hey,
the perfect bracket and like the setup and the form with the regionals, super regionals, and all of that because it's unique and it's cool. I don't want to see that changed. You could talk me into a first 4 play-in game like the Tuesday or Wednesday before. Just take 8 teams, play head to head, just one game, and you could talk me into that. But I really just don't want to change. Like,
you can't
let's
do that
appreciate what we
format.
have.
You can't do
I
that
love this.
format.
I love this graphic that they just showed on the NCAA show that they're doing on ESPN2 and ESPN Plus now. Weeks held #1 overall ranking on D1 baseball poll. Vanderbilt didn't have a single week where they were #1 overall this year. It was like LSU, Texas A&M.
That was that, but you got to remember, D1 baseball makes their preseason poll, and that dictates most of the season. So it's not really a subjective week 1 opening day to final game of the season resume. It includes preseason, includes how good they are on paper, it just includes a lot of different things. So, and whatever. So, but
Noah's got an important phone call, it looks like.
I
think he's in trouble. Hey, something that I want to bring up, and before I actually forget, there's 2 things I want to bring up. One, Dimitri, did Dylan Nielsen win the pick'em? Sorry, wrong comment. He said he won. He said he believes he won the pick'em. He lives in Omaha, doesn't need the hotel. Can I pass those to whoever wins?
Is he Omaha Locks?
I think so.
If he's Omaha Locks, he can hand him over to second place or whatever.
So yeah, I was gonna reach out to Cole. What was it? Cole that won the Survivor.
Cole GBO?
Yeah.
No, Wilkes beat me in Survivor.
Yeah.
C. Wilkes beat me in Survivor.
Steve Wilkes? Oh, Cole Wilkes. Is that his name? Steve Wilkes?
C. Wilkes, Cole GBO with the pick'em, but he blew it the final weekend. He was in first for a while.
Okay. So, anyways, I'm gonna reach out to both of the winners here today, and then yes, Dylan. Like, if you don't need the hotel,
it was Omaha Locks who won. Right?
I'll reach out to you, and then if you want to give it to whoever finished second, we can make that arrangement. So I want to get to that first. And then the second point I was going to make. What was I going to say? Hold on. What was I talking about?
We were talking about
first,
No. Hold on. Give me 1 second.
We were on NCAA tournament format. You were also making fun of me for jumping on an important phone call. Maybe you were going to.
Dude, I forgot what I was going to say. It was going to be important too. Can't remember. Sorry, guys. I'm failing.
Hey,
We do have guests lined up, everybody. So we are not ending the show soon, I don't believe. So stick around, and we've got
I
good
was just
stuff
going to
coming.
say about the whole field of 68 thing. You can't do that in baseball. You cannot make pitchers throw again after battling their ass off conference tournament week, throwing 180 pitches in 3 days to turn around, play a Wednesday game, and then turn around and play a Friday regional game. You can't do that. Basketball and other sports you can. Baseball you cannot do that.
Hey, can we? But can from a viewer standpoint, like, guys, how much fun would it be if on Thursday you sent Xavier? Okay, so let's say you sent Xavier and Troy to Florida State or so. I'm trying. It's a bad example, but like, I don't know. Imagine if we had 2 games on Thursday to like rev the engine a little bit. It's like you got to warm up, you got to stretch a little bit before you start to run the mile. I think it'd just be fun to have games on Thursday leading into the weekend.
All right, so our first guest is going to be here in just a second. It's Coach Hernandez, Johnny Hernandez from Bethune-Cookman. He's going to hop on, hype us up about the Bethune-Cookman walk-off 3-run homer and how they're going to get ready for Florida State. So that'll be fun. After that, we're going to get Houston Christian's head coach, Clay Vanderlaan, and just talk about the amazing turnaround that he had from the boys this season, and talk about them getting prepped for Texas, number 2 overall seed.
Yeah, and I mean, last year, we were kind of doing it on the fly too with a lot of the guests. Like I know Jack was able to bring on Coach Chad Holbrook after he had talked to the media. Like a lot of these guys are addressing their teams currently right now. Then they do the local media, that type of gig, and then we're able to borrow them for 10, 20 minutes of their time. So that's typically how this would work. I would guess.
A lot of defense being played. PC.
You know the thing.
Jack, have you tweeted out a bracket and asked the people where you should go?
I forgot. You're such.
I'm curious where they want you to go.
I the Troy thing. Jack, you got to go to Corvallis, dude. Come on.
I'm not gonna lie. When I saw it, that's where my head went. Yo, my boy, you think Kirk Charles wore flops in Oregon? And I get to meet my Beavers people, Los Peeves.
Oregon. Okay. How far is Oregon, Eugene? What did we figure out? An hour, right?
They're like an hour. You said half hour. I said 90 minutes. It's like an hour apart.
So Noah, what do you think about Miami not even being a last 4 in?
Oh, I printed out a bracket on a poster card.
That's actually amazing. I want one too. Send one to me right now, Noah. Mail it to my address. Wait, show that thing up. Look, wait.
All right, I'll put your
camera.
address on it.
I want to see it. That might be amazing.
That's hilarious. I just printed that off with the
I think I'm going to be a mini bracket guy from now on. Like mini paper. Our guest just joined. Let's bring him on.
That's incredible.
Hey.
The one and only Johnny Hernandez of Bethune-Cookman. What a freaking finish yesterday. Talk to us about that, Coach.
Man, crazy. Going into it, man, like our guys are just tough, man, gritty dudes. They're battle tested. We are, man. You look at our body of work throughout the course of the year, man. We're not stranger, right, to this. And I think our new nickname that's kind of caught on are the Cardiac Cats. And man, just the way that it ended with who hit it too, man. Like Andre's been on a tear all year. He tied the school record with the walk-off bomb, and I was at the third base box when it came down to that. I was like, how cool will it be for him, to tie the school record, hitting that walk-off bomb that's going to propel us to a regional. So I remember when he hit it, we were all like, okay, go. I think we were all blowing in the air, right, to get it out. And shoot, man, he hit it to the deepest part of the park, man, dead center, 400. He's got just unreal pop. But, what a moment, man, for all of our guys. And I'm just so ecstatic, man, for the opportunity now to go to Tallahassee and represent the Southwestern Athletic Conference in a regional. And the best part, my man Jake was with me, man, my son. So that was awesome.
Guys, his son Jake was the first guy on the mound after their first round SWAC win. I mean, he beats everybody out onto the field.
Yeah.
Coach, being around y'all last week, man, it's a true family. And I think that's probably in large part as to why 24 times your team came back from down in a ball game and you guys went, not worried. You and I talked about it in the 3 C's. Man, this feels like a team that's not going to be – you guys won't flinch in the face of these ball clubs you're about to go face. Like, how fired up are those boys right now?
Oh, fired up, man. And I think there's no bulletin board material for us, man. We have such a veteran group, and that's been the message. Either you want it or you don't. It's right there for you. And, you know, it's in life too, man. Like when things get crazy, you know, you got 2 options. You coddle in a corner or you rise up and you face the adversity and you know, grab the bull by the horn. So that's kind of been the mentality all year, man. Everyone has a job. They've accepted their job, whether it's a pinch hit role, whether it's starting, whether it's pinch running, defensive replacement, whether it's, you know, left on left guy, whether it's a starter reliever, it doesn't matter, man. These guys don't care, man. They just want to play baseball. They want to have an opportunity, you know, for the team to see success. And I mean, 37 wins, man, at the Division I level is tough to do, regardless of whatever conference you're in. And, you know, just proud, man, of the guys believing in the process, trusting the process, and calm, cool, collected at the end of the day, man. That's what it boils down to.
Yeah. Now, Coach, I was lucky enough to get to come down to campus last fall, meet with you, and I want to give credit to your whole coaching staff because the environment and the culture you guys have down in Daytona is something that is very rare in the sport, especially with the transfer portal and NIL and things. I haven't told this to Dimitri, Jack, or Noah, but you had 15, 16 kids 2 hours before practice hanging out, playing ping pong in the locker room, going out, stretching on the field, playing around. And then once practice time started, their heads were in the absolute competitive competitive space in their head of, all right, let's get after it. Like I'm competing against you, and you today, even though you're my teammates. So that on top of the amount of like physicality you guys have, giant human beings. You guys are a big group of guys that I saw hit baseballs, throw baseballs, and it is just as impressive as anywhere else in the country. So talk to us about how you're able to get a group of guys from the transfer portal, junior college, which I know you're heavy on, and bring them down to campus and say, this is our goal to get to a regional each and every year.
Well, it starts first with the success the program has had before I even got here. You know, that put us in a platform to be able to, you know, up the recruiting, right? You talk about the transfer portal. For us, man, we necessarily don't hit big on the portal. You know, that's not really our way of going about it. I was a JUCO head coach for 5 years, and I believe in the junior college process. You know, I believe, you know, guys going to JUCO for 2 years, developing on and off the field, they understand what it is getting in a bus ride for 6-7 hours. They understand eating, hey, man, like, we got to go Wendy's 4 for $4 today, right? We can't eat Outback tonight. You know what I'm saying? So, and it's just a different mindset, man. Those guys are battle tested. Not to say that other guys aren't, but we just love the JUCO guys, man. They come around together more quickly than anybody because they've all been in that same setting. You know, for us, man, it's a family atmosphere. You know, I make sure I let our guys know, hey, man, like, yes, I'm the head coach of the program, but I'm a father first. You know, and I bring Jake around, you know, whenever I can. And I think that that's the cool part because at some, you know, part of their lives, all of our players, they're going to be fathers, they're going to be husbands, they're going to be role models in their city, in their communities. And if they see, hey, man, like, guys, I have to go because I got to go catch Jake's baseball game at 5:30. Like, hey, coach, go get him, you know. And then they always ask, hey, how did Jake do? You know, it's that family environment that we want to create with our guys so they understand and believe and love each other, man. And when it comes through organically, that's the best form of it, man. And that's what happened this year. It just formed organically, like you said, man. Like, how can you love a teammate if you don't spend time with them? How can you trust a teammate if you don't even know what their backstory is? So I make sure when we have our 8-hour weeks that we don't do anything on the weekends. The guys are spending time with each other without the coaches. It's, hey, man, like, go watch college football together. Go to your apartments, cook food, man. Go hang out. I mean, it helps we're at Daytona Beach, right? And we have the beach across the way.
Yeah.
Go to the beach, man. Hang out. Like, enjoy your time as an 18 to 22-year-old dude. At the end of the day, man, baseball is just something we do. But when you start doing that, then you start the relationship building process, you know, and it comes down to three things, and that's in any relationship. It comes down to communication, it comes down to trust, and it comes down to transparency. Those are the three pillars of our program. And that goes with any relationship we have. And, you know, we make sure as coaches, you know, our players know that, hey, man, like, I got you, man. We trust you, but it's our job as coaches to earn and keep that trust day in and day out, you know, and they respect that. And, you know, again, man, it's coming together, competitive mindset. If I'm competing against you, we're going to go at it all day. But then at the end of the day, if we compete against each other and we bring the best out of each other when we're playing another team, then I've done my part as the backup guy to get you prepared to compete against somebody else in another uniform. So, again, man, just proud of the work of our guys. And, I mean, I can't say enough of our assistant coaching staff, man. Our coaching staff has done a phenomenal job this year. And, oh, man, it's all them. You know, I just manage everything, and they do a lot of stuff together, man, and I enjoy it.
Yeah.
Coach Hernandez of Bethune-Cookman, you know, I want to congratulate you first, by the way. Nice to finally get to talk to you. My name is Noah. And, I mean, you were named the SWAC Baseball Coach of the Year, but also can you help us kind of put together some personalities to some of the players on your team? I know Andre Martinez, co-hitter of the year in the conference, and Mr. Zambrano was the relief pitcher of the year. Can you talk to us about some of your core guys and the guys that will be seeing on television next week?
The thing is, Andre Martinez is the big bat because the numbers say so, right? But, man, he's full of energy. And you know, he's from Barranquilla, Colombia, right? So the number one sport in Colombia is soccer, right? So, you know, I think the only big leaguer, and I could be mistaken, but you got, you know, Edgar Renteria came from Colombia, right? So, again, baseball is not a known commodity out there. It's growing. But, man, you talk about a kid that we had an opportunity, you know, to bring internationally and give him an opportunity here at the States. Again, these are all first generation, you know, guys that are going to graduate with their degrees, you know, and it took some time for him to get settled in and be comfortable around the guys. But once he got settled in, it was just baseball. That's all it was. That's all was on his mind. You know, Zambrano was the reliever of the year. And this is the fourth consecutive year that our baseball program and our pitching coach has had the SWAC reliever of the year, you know. So we call ourselves, you know, reliever U right now. That's kind of where, you know, where the nickname's coming out. But, man, just everybody in general, man, our second baseman, Jesus Venegas, you know, he's hitting over 300 with 15, 16 pumps. George Rodriguez, catcher / first baseman, you know, hit a big 2-run bomb in yesterday's game to keep the lead where it was and give us an opportunity. Jeter Polledo, our shortstop, you know, it's he's a dude, man, Mr. Clutch. And, you know, our catcher, it's too many to name, to be honest with you, man. Like, the biggest thing is I want our guys to have fun and enjoy it. You know, it's, you know, no one's giving us a shot, and I'm good with it. It just adds, you know, all you need is a chip and a chair. That's all you need. All you need is an opportunity, and it's right there in front of you. So, you know, don't worry about what anybody else is going to say, and it is what it is. Just go out and play our brand of baseball, and, you know, don't prove people wrong. It's not about that. It's about the people that love, support us from day one. We're going to prove those people right. So just kind of flip the script on it. And they're excited, man. I'm jacked up, and it's a fun bunch, man. Like, these guys are loose, you know, as loose as they're going to be.
Yeah,
And,
they
you know,
are.
Coach,
you know,
I've been telling. So I played winter ball in Nicaragua. I played winter ball in Venezuela. So I've been telling Ben, and I've been telling these guys, the first program that figures out, because in those countries, you either get drafted or sign a professional contract, or you just stay locally and play in your league, and that's pretty much it. And I've had so many teammates over the years, I want to play college baseball. How can I play college baseball? And I'm like, well, I don't know how much English you have to know. You might need to learn a little bit to be able to qualify for classes, whatever. But the first program that creates a pipeline of getting some Latinos to their program, you're going to find so many really good players. Oh, well, maybe he didn't.
Agree with you. Numbers playing.
Yeah, I don't think that's what I was saying.
Yeah, no, I think he's
To adjust something, and then
Yeah, he's back here.
Yeah, here it is.
So, wait,
You got him right there.
Ben, are you clicking or am I clicking?
I'll click it.
There we go.
There it is.
So,
Oh.
yeah, I don't think you liked what I said. You just were like, I'm out.
No, I'm trying to
Recruiting violation.
phone's blowing up. And that press exit button
so-
was a mistake.
So my question to you is, do you have a few of those guys? How did you find them, and how did you create that connection? Did you get them from the JUCO route? Did you pull him straight out of Columbia? Like, what is that? Because I think it's a very unknown pipeline that could be really developed.
I mean, we got Andre from JUCO. You know, we have a really good relationship, you know, with the junior college that, you know, he came from. And he set the home run record, the career home run record at the junior college that he was at. And it was one of those where he was the best kept secret. And I kept holding off like November, signing day. Please, nobody call him. Like, I would call the JUCO coach, hey, man, like, please don't play him in this Auburndale event. Please don't play him in this event. Come on, man. Like, do me a solid. I got you. I'll figure it out. And, dude, once signing day came, it was like, send the paperwork, you know, with the head coach. They signed it. As soon as I got it, it was like one of those, like, whew, you know, like, you know, we're good. But, yeah, man, we get our Latin guys, you know, from the JUCO route. We get guys from Puerto Rico. We have an outlet there. You know, again, like in Puerto Rico and in the islands, for us, we are the Vanderbilts. We are the Clemson. We are the big teams because we recruit heavy out in the Caribbean islands, you know. So, you know, giving us an opportunity to bring those type of players in here and expose them to baseball here. And it's worked out in our favor the last couple of years, and I mean, just excited to continue to have that pipeline rolling.
So I had one more question. I don't know. I want to hear your thoughts. You guys were the best team all year in the SWAC. You guys dominated the league. You ended up in a winner-take-all championship game for the SWAC. You're one swing away from Florida A&M advancing and your season being over. How do you feel about that? Like, I always like the you got to beat them twice kind of thing. I just wanted to hear your thoughts on a winner-take-all for the best team in the conference. I would have been really disappointed.
Yeah, man. I think, well, I don't want to get in trouble here.
Yeah.
Here's what I'll tell you.
You can leave it like that, too. Pretty much said it.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you that for our program, we're not going to give any excuses. Tell us where we're going, who we're playing, and let's get the job done. And if we don't get the job done, then we didn't earn that right. You know, and in life, you don't get what you deserve, you get what you earned. And our boys earned this opportunity. You know, are there some changes that need to be made? Absolutely. You know, 1-8 and 3-6 in a bracket, it doesn't make any sense.
Well,
but again, it put us in a situation to get battle tested. And I think that we have to go through those experiences together to be able to earn the right to be a conference champion and be able to represent our conference. So, you know, again, man, there's some things that need to be changed, absolutely, but I'm not one to give excuses. You know, it is what it is. Just punching that clock and let's get to work and let's get the job done.
Coach, you even said it. Just tell us where we're going and who we're playing. Coach, next weekend you're heading to Tallahassee. You're playing Florida State, the #1 seed. You're 2s and 3s Northeastern Mississippi State. I know you haven't done any scouting yet, so I don't need to know that. What's the itinerary look like? When are you arriving in Tallahassee? What are the guys' plans as you get ready for this regional?
Well, we're planning on practicing here Wednesday and then leaving to Tallahassee, just to give the guys an extra night there, just out, enjoy it, man. This is you know, it's a big accomplishment for our guys, and I'd hate it to be just, you know, a few days and that's it. I want them to enjoy it. You know, Thursday we'll practice, play on Friday, you know, and play on Saturday, hopefully play on Sunday, and if need be, get to Monday, right? And our program's no stranger to that, you know, and that's got to be the mindset. Just win the day. That's it, man. Just go 1-0. Don't worry about anything else. Worry about what's in front of us. I, on the other hand, I have just a logistical nightmare that I have to go through because it's my daughter's graduation on Thursday from high school.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So, man, my daughter's going to the
But
university.
you've said it. You're a father first. You're a father first, and you want to make sure your guys
Congratulations
you're
to
a
her.
good role
too.
model there. Yeah, congratulations to your daughter. That's huge. And I know you told me where she's going to school, so that's also a big accomplishment where she's going. I don't want to say it here on air, but really, really good stuff.
Yeah, man. So I'll figure it out. I'll go, Wednesday with the team, probably drive down after practice, and then meet the team on Friday early morning. Just waiting to see what the game times are and stuff like that.
Awesome.
Good luck, Coach.
Did we lose him? I think we might have lost him. But yeah, anyways, that was Johnny Hernandez of Bethune-Cookman. Awesome guy. One of my favorite coaches in the country. He was having some Wi-Fi connection issues towards at the end, but man, he's one of a kind. Like he's a guy that I could see getting a huge job if he wanted to later on in his career. But he might just stay at Bethune and build a freaking powerhouse like he already has.
No, it's cool.
Could you imagine if Bethune got some studs from Curacao, Aruba, Puerto Rico, Nicaragua, Venezuela, Colombia, and just built a powerhouse? I'm telling you, I can visualize some small program dominating that pipeline, and all these coaches around the country like, who is this guy? Who is this guy? Where'd you find this guy? How'd you get this guy? And they're just rolling out, studs that just didn't sign professional contracts that are now 20, 21 years old.
Yeah.
So. There's some college basketball teams that have started going international and doing well. College of Charleston's one of them, Jack.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's cool. Ben, you had mentioned it, like with that recruiting pipeline, like they have to get creative because of resources and budget. So the international, to your point, has allowed them a competitive advantage that the big boys aren't thinking about. What's cool too is getting to meet him over the weekend, and Ben so graciously setting up that meeting. Like they do not consider themselves an HBCU. Like he's like, I don't give a damn what we have or don't have. Like I really don't. Like we are a mid-major. We want to be in your mid-major top 25. Like that's a goal for us. And then we've got a group of dudes that like literally you could hear some of the like team bonding stuff they do. They love being together. They have come from behind in 24 of their games this year. Derek Cartaya, a guy that I actually played against, he was an FIU guy, so another pipeline to the South Beach of Miami, like a highlight dude as well, just like Coach Hernandez. He had talked about and joked, he was like, dude, like we're coming to play in this massive semifinal game for a chance to play in the championship. He's like, I'm not kidding. We probably had 13 guys asleep on our 40-minute bus drive to the ballpark, like asleep. He's like, I'm talking dead, knocked out cold. So, Noah, you said, hey, man, what can we expect when we see these guys on TV on Friday? Not so fast, my friends. I've got legit 13 interviews with Bethune-Cookman players, coaches, all of the above that I'm going to roll out throughout the week. I don't like doing stuff pregame and, you don't interview teams after a loss because, like, the guy with the pencil is probably not super well received in those moments. Dude, Coach Johnny was like, whoever, whenever, wherever, we're ready. Like if you're going to be the reason and they're not ready to play today, we got way bigger issues. So we literally sat in the stands at Rickwood Field, and it was just like you're getting to talk to these guys, and they're joking about how my Spanish sucks, and it was like, man, this guy, this group loves playing together, and it was it's cool to see him. And I wanted to ask him about it, and he didn't really talk much, but I don't think he broached the subject, but. A lot of people don't know in 21, this team opted out. They didn't play.
Yeah.
He had to go get another job. He had freshmen on that team that they could have transferred anywhere. Yo-Yo Diaz, the guy that his son like went and ran and jumped into his arms after their big win on Thursday night, was a guy that could have easily gone and played somewhere else, but he stuck with this coach. And like, that's really rare, right? Like he could have gone D2, JUCO. There were other Division I schools that were calling, and he's like, no, man, like this guy gave me a shot when no one else did out of high school. And now to like kind of like bookend his career in a regional, man, they're not going to be satisfied just showing up, but it's a really cool story for a group of dudes that love being around each other.
Yep. 1,000%. So let's do this, guys. Let's end the live stream here in about 10 minutes. We'll do closing thoughts, and then we're going to do a actual recorded podcast like right now, and we'll get it posted probably later this evening, where we're going to look over the field. We're going to maybe make some hot takes or predictions or stuff. And then tomorrow we're going to actually fill out our brackets. We're going to do our picks, who's going to win each regional, who's going to win each super regional, Omaha 8, who's going to win Omaha. We'll do all of that tomorrow on a recorded podcast episode. But as far as today, like Coach Vanderlaan can't make it from Houston Christian right now. He said he's slammed with 100 Zoom interviews, so he's not able to join us. But yeah, let's do a little bit more structured show. It won't be live. I'm sorry to everybody in the live chat. You guys were great today, but we're going to make sure that we're prepared. We're going to view all 16 regionals, talk about storylines, things like that, and post it here this evening. So that'll be good for you guys. Should be like a 2-hour show to listen to tonight, and then tomorrow we'll do the same thing, but actually make predictions. Sound good?
Love it. Love where your head's at. Take us to the end of the road, point guard.
Perfect. Well, I appreciate everybody for following along and listening. Today is the most exciting day of the year. And honestly, I can't wait for Friday. Friday is going to be a freaking blast.
Hey,
maybe
Ben.
try to do a live show Friday if Jack's available.
We get to watch postseason baseball. The
Yeah.
Aggies are not in, so we are allowed to watch postseason baseball.
Robbed.
Yeah, should have never been a debate. But anyways,